All right, we are live for the morning check-in. And as always, looking forward to connecting and sharing my 2 cents on what's happening, what's trending, and more importantly, what appears to be on the forefront. As always, welcome, man. Looking forward to connecting as always. And for those who are plugging in, definitely make sure you feel free to leave some thoughts, ideas, suggestions in the chat. Want to make sure that we're able to get as much feedback as well as just thoughts and opinions on what's happening. And there's dozens of topics. I have maybe 10, 12 tabs open, all relevant to what appears to be the incoming melt up of 2025, as it might appear, given the euphoria around crypto and some tweets and some comments made from uh, President-elect Donald Trump this morning when he rung the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange bell, and his excitement for crypto. And definitely, he's going to make his presence felt in 2025 as a cover up as well as a catalyst for this tremendous economy that he's wanting to take credit for if it comes. So we're going to talk about that and a lot of other things. But before I move forward, let me make sure everything is flowing smoothly. Let me know if everything is coming in smooth and clear. And let me just thumb through some of the headlines real quick. So these are some of the things that we're going to touch on in reference to top hot topics this morning. So we're going to touch on Donald Trump's considering a crypto CFTC role. That's going to be interesting. Then we have a lot of headlines saying that Bitcoin to replace gold over the next decade, says Bernstein. Then we have BlackRock says up to 2% Bitcoin allocation is a reasonable range. And then, of course, Florida is looking to create their own strategic Bitcoin reserves and a lot of other things. So it's going to be an interesting morning, to say the least, but we're going to make the most of it. And so for those that are checking in and catching this, definitely feel free to leave thoughts, ideas, suggestions, as I always mention. And if you have not, let me just make sure, give everybody all the resources they need to make sure that you subscribe. And so if you haven't already, definitely hit that check mark, as well as that bell notification, whatever it is, wherever you're watching it at, so you can stay plugged in when the video is put out. And for those who want to support the channel, there's always ways to do that. You can scroll down to the very bottom. And as you can see here, there's a multitude of ways to be a blessing to the channel, to support in all forms and fashion. So feel free to do that. And definitely, I appreciate your support in advance. Okay, so let's not waste any time. I'll get right into the headlines, man, and just share my 2 cents on things, because at this current moment, everything is being set up for, I believe, after January 20th. The goal would be for Donald Trump to begin, I guess, his second term in a historic manner. And what I mean historic, meaning he wants to literally. And I don't go for the whole concept of make America great again, but I know what his agenda is. And it's literally to cover up this transition, this reset that is underway. And the best way to do that is to make the markets pump. And so the stock market is going to go up, I believe. Crypto market, once his council and his team is formed, they're going to juice the markets. And so he's going to create that illusionary wealth effect that I've referenced several times. And that will, buy more time for him to actually begin doing some things in his administration. And then also in the introduction of that stable coin, which will eventually be rolled out as a way to extend the lifeline of the Federal Reserve System, as well as the utility of the dollar globally, and a variety of other things that he wants to accomplish. And there's no way he can even come close to accomplishing anything he desires unless the American people feel as if they're participating in this boom that is going to be created in the next couple of months, barring some type of unforeseen event. So everything is subject to a geopolitical conflict. We have a lot of bad actors in the world that would love to create more death, debt, and destruction. And so if he's really a swamp drainer or anti-deep state killer, or whatever he's going to be called or wants to be known as, we'll see how he combats those forces that will be against him. So, okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Let me get myself stuff on the screen here. And so I want to start off with a little short comment that was done during his presentation this morning, or his little interview this morning, in reference to what he mentioned will be coming. So take a listen to this.
you're embracing crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic Petroleum Reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, and not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head. We're going to be ahead of AI. We're going to be way ahead of AI, and we've got to produce tremendous amounts of electricity. You know that it's unbelievable when you think that we need more than twice what we already have. If you think that's pretty for a specific industry, but we'll be able to do it. We have 𝗙𝗙𝗟𝗟𝗓𝗓 in charge of the environment. He's going to be giving us very strong approvals, I think, and he's going to make sure everything's good and clean and proper, but he's going to give us very fast approvals.
Natural gas.
All right, so there you have do something great for crypto, AI, and the energy boom. So those are the three industries that he's going to look to really make some changes towards, and I believe that he will accomplish that because a lot of that has to do with deregulation in the energy sector. Basically, there's a tweet that he put out there, I think it was yesterday, saying that any business that invests over $1 billion within this country, they'll get kind of like fast tracked with all the paperwork and all that stuff that usually takes time, and a lot of back patting and back massaging and lobbying and under the table dealings. Get away with that. He's gonna get right to the nitty gritty and basically give some licenses for people to get stuff done. So that in of itself is very promising. So that will play into more of this activity that he's looking to generate within our country to get the economy rolling again. And of course, he will never, I say all this with a little bit of optimism and excitement because, if you're positioned strategically, you'll be in a good position to reap the rewards of this price appreciation in the asset class. Because what we're going to witness in the crypto space, there's going to be a pump there. In the AI space, there's going to be a pump there. And possibly in the commodity space, there's going to be a pump. And I'm not necessarily referring to the monetary mediums, gold and silver. Those will probably be on pause because oil is going to boom and all the other agricultural commodities might boom, but it will be my opinion that he would want naturally gold and silver to remain in a calm because that helps the bullion banks and Wall Street puppets while they begin positioning themselves within the digital asset space. So that's just something to be aware of. So my point is, if you're positioned ahead of time in a lot of these sectors, you can be on the receiving end of this boom, however it plays out, whether it's short term, long term, who knows, but something is coming. And of course, what is that that's coming? Clearly, it has everything to do with this big Bitcoin strategic reserve. And he talks about wanting to get ahead and beat China and everything like that. So you better believe they're making this a competitive race to try to secure as much Bitcoin as possible. And once again, I'm not looking at it through the lens of like, I'm not messing with it. It's, it's fool's gold. It's, whatever, just as a pure speculation, I realize where the funds are going. And so I have been aware of this for quite some time. And it's kind of exciting to be looking at this all unfold from the position that I'm in. So hopefully for those who love to speculate, you too see the opportunities, because literally with the way he's going to position this, there will be some life-changing opportunities for a lot of people, depending on how you're positioned. And so I'm going to spend a lot more time in the days ahead talking about positioning according to what I believe could be possible strategies for people to consider. And just today, I thought of a great one in reference to Bitcoin. And for those who've been tuned in for quite some time now, I've mentioned a particular strategy that this is off the cuff, but let me go ahead and share it with you real quick. That could be a viable opportunity for some. And so may not work for everybody, but depending on how you position, it could be something to consider. And this has everything to do. This is off the cuff, and I didn't plan on mentioning this, but I might as well mention it because it'll be something short and sweet. But as I show you here on the screen, we have what I consider the 4 Bitcoins. And so I call this the Bitcoin strategy, where it deals with all 4 Bitcoins, because to me, they're all of their original code. The other ones outside of BTC has been tweaked, but then again, they all will receive price appreciation in the days ahead because of this asset class in general. And so we got Bitcoin here leading the way, and as of right now, it's at 101,000, Bitcoin Cash at 55,554, Bitcoin SV 68, and Bitcoin Gold at $25. And so out of all these, it looks like Bitcoin Gold has had the hardest week thus far. But then again, as I did a video, I think 2 weeks ago, it had the greatest. So regardless, these are all limited in supply, and therefore will be recipients of the fiat currency rate. So with in and within itself will be some opportunities. And so what I was thinking of earlier and how I might consider playing this is that, BTC is the new gold standard. Everything else is just potentially utility tokens that can be used in some form of fashion. Being able to be positioned in these other forms of Bitcoin, and as their price appreciates, it could be a good way to unload a lot of these tokens here, these coins here, in exchange for other assets, i.e. commodities. So literally, depending on, your gameplay or how you might want to work this, having some of the position in these here, because they're going to go up in value. That's just how it will go, a lot faster than gold and silver will, because they don't want gold and silver to move. So getting a position in some of these smaller coins could be a lot of opportunity to be able to get more weight, i.e. gold or silver or whatever your strategy is. So that's just a little nugget there for those who might be thinking the same thing. Who knows? But it's all a gamble at the end until you're physically holding something tangible outside of counterparty risk and everything else. So that's just a little nugget there. But primary stories, let's get into some of the things that's going to really pump these markets and position those who are waiting for that. Okay, let me get my screen right. Okay, so as it says here, Donald Trump considers A16Z crypto policy head for a CFTC role, says Bloomberg. So here it says here, while Brian was a CFTC commissioner, he oversaw the launch of the first regulated Bitcoin and Ethereum futures contract. So once again, placing people who are familiar with the crypto space in position of power within his administration appears to be his game strategy. And clearly, all these individuals here, they all have heavy bags in crypto. So everything they do, they're going to do it for the most part with the viewpoint of, I'm going to do something favorable on behalf of this administration, i.e. Trump. But then again, it's going to benefit the people who I've been associated with, who I've worked with, or who I've in collaboration with as well. So, outside of, whatever companies he's worked for in the past, he has a nice size portfolio himself, a lot of crypto assets where he's going to be on the receiving end, because every single person in politics, and especially as a part of this administration here, they've all been selected to be appointed because they were chosen well before, Donald Trump, decided to appoint them. Like literally his advisors, all those individuals that are overseeing this reset that they're still a part of, they're positioning their people in places of power, and you better believe they're going to reap the benefits of this transition. So the CFTC person, he's not operating in the best interests of our country at the end of the day. None of these people are. But it says here, President-elect Donald Trump is reportedly considering Brian Quintes, a former CFTC commissioner, to lead the agency, currently serving as a policy lead for a VC giant, Andreessen Horowitz crypto division. Quintes has emerged as a front runner among candidates, according to sources cited in Bloomberg's report. So once again, a crypto VC will be in position at the CFTC, possibly, and that will be very favorable for the crypto space, because the framework that they're going to lay out is going to be designed to help this incoming administration appear as if, like, America is going to be on the right footing of this transition. And so, as Donald Trump mentioned, crypto, AI, and energy are three things he's going to really look to shift the game in, and you better believe it's going to reflect in the crypto space. And how will it reflect in the crypto space? I'll tell you exactly how. Give me 1 sec. Let me go here and show you. I'll show you how it will impact the crypto space. And it will show up in this figure right here. Let me get on the screen here. It's going to show up in this figure right here. Let me move some stuff around on my screen here. Give me 1 second. It's going to show up right here. If I can get my screen. Come on. It's going to show up right on the screen when I get it over here in a second. It's going to show up right here. The crypto market cap. So as of right now, we're at 3.66 trillion. And so literally within the last month, so let's go to 30 days. Within the last 30 days, if I can get it up on here, let me within the last 30 days, we have seen, give me a second here. So literally, I think I'm covering it up. Let me get on this side here. So literally, as you can see on the screen here, with just the mention of a crypto-friendly president starting right here, like literally starting right here. So this is a turning point. November 4th and 5th, we all know what happened on that day. Ever since then, ever since Donald Trump's name has been mentioned as the next incoming president, crypto has done extremely well. And you better believe all the VCs, all the hedge fund operators, all the crypto people, Silicon Valley, everybody involved with crypto, AI, and energy are positioning themselves ahead of the flood of currency that is coming in 2025 and beyond. And you better believe Trump's team will be recipients of this first and foremost. And one of the primary recipients, let's not forget, World Liberty Financial. And so for my people who've been paying attention, I've talked about it before, but you better believe because it's kind of flown under the radar, but it's still there. And what am I talking about? The Trump crypto empire. And what does that look like? Let's get on the screen here. This is still in operation. So if you go to worldlibertyfinancial.com, this is the Trump family crypto company. And so you better believe the Trump kids are in position heavily with Bitcoin and every other coin that they know their daddy's administration will pump on behalf of the family, their position. So you better believe that the Trump family, the Trump empire will leave this administration better than they came in. That's just how it goes. That's just one of the perks of being president. You know, you got inside information that can make your family wealthier than ever. And so this is World Liberty Financial, the Trumps, only for accredited investors, might I add. And they have a centralized token and everything else. But it says here, inspired by Donald J. Trump. So the question would be, if I was a person looking to speculate, I wonder what projects, what tokens, what things they have in the background of that company that they formed that they're going to strategically work to to pump so that their bags get bigger. That's just the world we're in. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, so what else here? And it also helps when you have one of the Trump family members going out there saying things like this. Check this out.
I can tell you a lot of eyes were opened when Bitcoin hit 100,000. And I can tell you a hell of a lot more eyes are going to be opened when Bitcoin hits 1 million. And I'm confident it's going to hit 1 million. I think we're all confident in this room that it's going to hit 1 million.
Okay, so right then and there, we have Eric Trump, speaking at a conference, I think a couple days ago, mentioning that he's very confident. He knows that Bitcoin will hit $1 million. And you better believe he has a nice portfolio of diversified holdings in crypto, including Bitcoin. So he's going to be good because he can just call his daddy and tell his daddy and you recommend some things to his daddy. So anyway, this is just what's happening. Okay, keep it moving. Yeah, so I would say one of the more important things is now that it is approved, accepted, expected to pump. Now we look into who will be the gatekeepers and look no further than BlackRock. BlackRock says up to 2% Bitcoin allocation is reasonable range. So literally, BlackRock has dispersed information to their clients, putting it out there that, hey, it's certified now, it's good to go, come on in. And so we can put 1 to 2% of your holdings into Bitcoin if you like. And you better believe everybody and their mother who don't want to miss out on this price action is saying, sure, put me in. And so they're expecting $100+ billion in 2025. And as of right now, I think the Bitcoin ETF is the largest, and the pace at which it's growing is historical. So this is not a fluke. This is a designed strategic transition that was always a part of the equation. Like, it's no doubt in my mind. I've been watching this for so many years now, and I've witnessed how literally They have suppressed the price for as long as they can, and they have positioned themselves as the gatekeepers, as the primary financiers for the industry. And BlackRock owns all the mining companies and everything else. So they're ready. They're ready for the price to pump in 2025, I believe. So real quick here, for those who might have interest, it says the world's biggest asset manager says Bitcoin does have a place in multi-asset portfolios, multi-asset up to a certain point. It says given Bitcoin is 1 to 2% weighting, will produce a similar risk profile to the so-called Magnificent Seven technology stocks in a standard 60-40 portfolio stocks and bonds, according to BlackRock Investment Institute paper released today. That's a reasonable range to devote to Bitcoin, as anything beyond 2% would sharply increase crypto's share of overall portfolio risk. So literally, they consider 1 to 2% of your holdings as a legitimate place to be come 2025 and beyond. So here we are. And so just let me let you see what that looks like. So as of right now, let me put on the screen here. This is what the ETF inflows has looked like, far outpacing gold. And so it says cumulative flows to gold versus spot Bitcoin ETF. So this blue line over to the far, my right, your left, has this type of activity where from the time it's been introduced to currently, over 30 billion net flows to Bitcoin ETF. So literally, as you can see here on the screen, look at this blue line. This blue line is ridiculous. From the time it was introduced up until now, straight line up. And it's only been 12 months. This blue line is 12 months worth of activity. And then you look at the red line. The red line is almost 20 something years of activity in gold, give or take. So we've had the booms and busts. So we had the boom here and then the bust. So I would assume this boom here, that doesn't give date, but this is probably 2010, 2011. The GFC crisis was around this peak here. This was a GFC. Then we had a cooling off, and then we had 2020, or after 2020 rather, or yes, after 20. So this is as of recent. Yeah. So these are the little ups and flows that we've had over the last, couple years or so above my head here. So, but we can see here, inflows, ridiculous. And just to show you what that looks like on paper, here we have US spot ETFs. So BlackRock and all the other, I think, there's 10 or so ETFs that are the most utilized, has eclipsed Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet of actual Bitcoins that they hold. And so this ETF product has surpassed the largest holdings of Bitcoin thus far, which is Satoshi Nakamoto's, or the NSA government, industries wallet, Binance, MicroStrategy. Even, MicroStrategy is out here still accumulating. The U.S. government has 198,000, and the Chinese government, they have 194. So this race here between the U.S. and the Chinese is irrelevant, because they're sitting on confiscated. They've stolen. I can't really say they've confiscated what they would have considered illegal use of funds, money laundering, whatever, cryptos, Bitcoin. So they're sitting on that. So these are the biggest holders of Bitcoin, and the ETFs have been approved by Wall Street. This is a Wall Street product, people. So to me, as I always mentioned before, it was going to be a matter of time before Wall Street captures the industry. And with this ETF product, they have surpassed every other, authorized cryptocurrency exchange. And then you got the two governments here. So it's like, Wall Street is winning the game again. So, but yet, if you want to, I guess, play by their rules, then they got to make sure they write the rules. So, all right, here we got Florida looking to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve as well. And so this is just some information given out from the political strategists. And so give you an idea what's going on here. It says 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪, a political strategist and president of the Florida Blockchain Business Association, says that Sunshine State is looking to launch a strategic Bitcoin reserve. It says in a post social media, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗪 says Florida will likely create its own stockpile of the leading crypto asset amid support from pro-Bitcoin leaders. It says Florida has a very good chance of creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve this session, which starts in Q1 of 2025. So they have, it says here, we can leverage our 185.7 billion pension fund, the fourth largest in the US, to allocate a small percentage to Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Just investing 1% of our pension fund into Bitcoin would be 1.857 billion. So once again, every company, every person, every leader, every government is all in on hedging against inflation. But yet there's no outcry, or there's no fight to the people, entities that's responsible for the problem. So they're literally putting band-aids on something that is gushing out continuously. And what I'm referring to is the Federal Reserve Act that was put in place in 1913, which prioritized and monopolized the United States national currency and gave it over to a private entity that's operating still on behalf of this nation as our financiers, as well as our currency creator, as well as the banking overseers. So until they remove those three responsibilities from that corrupt entity, they're not really solving anything. And so that's, to me, more of the reason why Bitcoin has been placed here as a strategic maneuver by the powers that be, because it diverts attention off of the real problem. And so you will never hear Donald Trump talk about the Federal Reserve in a negative way, outside of, talking about Jerome Powell need to cut rates faster. And so we got PPI numbers being adjusted, CPI figure rising, and they're still going to cut. Every central bank around the world is cutting, while inflation is still a problem. And here they are talking about Bitcoin. Everybody's sold on Bitcoin. So clearly, when you have everybody and a mother excited about something without ever addressing the real problems, that's how you know they're all in on something. And they want the propaganda to continue to spread so that the masses are brought in, so that they get excited about this. And all of this is designed to cover up the reset that's underway still. Because as long as the Federal Reserve is still in a position of power within our monetary system, nothing can be solved. And so that's how I know that all of this is strategically been done. And this is a part of the what they would consider a game. But for us, this is our lives they're playing with here. And they're leading people to think that Bitcoin is going to be the way out. At the same time, all of this stuff about quantum computers is just hitting the airway. And so it's like, why would they intentionally decide to come out with all this information on quantum unless, like, there's some things that we don't know about? And the stuff they're giving us, it just flirts with the idea that there's a probability that there could be a security issue as far as encryption with Bitcoin moving forward. So it's like, that's enough to make me wonder, like, do you really think that they're going to come out and say that, oh, we got the quantum power now to really disrupt and unravel the blockchain? Common sense tells you they won't tell you when they're ready to do this, but it'll be there. So it's my thought and belief that they're a lot further along than what they're even going to tell us. They're not going to tell us that they're, halfway to the point of having enough quantum power to actually disrupt encryption in all sectors. Banking, anything that's on the internet can be unraveled. And that's the world that we're being steered towards. And that's why, I've started off by talking about having a plan. And so knowing what they want to accomplish, they're going to pump the price of crypto through the moon. That's a great way to take advantage of the price appreciation in the digital world. So you can take some of those gains and then really bless yourself in the natural world, where we already have dominion that's been given to us by God himself. So yeah, that's why I'm excited, because I'm going to ride the I'm going to ride the wave as high as they take it. And as it goes higher, I'm going to be getting out of a little bit of this and getting into the real world and trying to enjoy myself like never before. So that's just my little thoughts on this situation. But anyway, let me see. Oh man, I got 10 more tabs I'm not going to get to, but I will just show you this one. Let me bring this up here, because CPI, PPI, those are all things that are going to go up. And so we ain't seen nothing yet, but on the screen here, you can see just the most recent figures. And what we can see is that the under reported false metrics that they use to give us the CPI figures is even becoming a problem. And so as you can see here, from the dip, we're going back up, baby. And this is 2.4 is the lowest they were supposedly able to get it. And now it's at it was like 2.6 in October, it's 2.7 in November. What do you think December is going to be? Any guess? 2.8, 2.9. Then come January, it's going to be 3. And then we'll see what incoming President Trump has to say about inflation as it goes up. Because believe me, he's not going to talk about it. He's going to literally put more pressure on the Fed to cut more, to further expand the monetary base, to really promote and to push that wealth effect, to try to counter the impact of a rising CPI. And all that is just more currency racing into goods that are of scarce and finite supply, therefore forcing the price to go up of things. So yeah, that wealth effect will ultimately be canceled when everything around us continues to climb and people realize that, he's not really making America great again. He's really, just buying time. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. But as always, for those that enjoy this, if you find value here, hit that thumbs up button, show some love down below. And, before we get out of here, I would do you no justice if I did not also recommend some ways to take advantage of what's going on here. So as you can see here, colonialmetallsgroup.com/RTD, one of my partners here that allows people to take advantage of this current madness that we're in now by taking your old portfolio and redirecting it to a self-directed IRA where you can hold gold and silver in your possession. And so if you're interested in finding out more, there's some information beneath this video, as well as information I'm about to put on the screen here, where you can actually reach out and speak to the experts and get your questions answered to find out if this particular vehicle is something of value to you. So colonialmetallsgroup.com/RTD, or give them a call at 888-521-2448. Get your questions answered. Fill out this form here, and then you download, get this guide here, read it, ask questions, and get yourself protected for what could be a exciting future on this melt up of 2025 until, and that's going to be life changing. That when things come down, won't never be the same after that. So that's just something available for those who are interested. And then also, we'll continue to remind people of the importance of getting a hold of what I consider to be the cheapest, most affordable gold. It's all around me right here. These are the gold backs. So if you're interested, go to buygoldnotes.com. Links in the description. And once again, take advantage of the opportunity to get physical gold while it's still semi-affordable for some. But these are the cheapest ways to get physical gold. And of course, they come with a premium because this is a service and it takes manpower to bring these into existence. So here you have $2.69 for a half of a unit. And then above my head, you got the 1 unit, which is $5.38. So these are these little things right here. So right here, I got a little, you can see it, got a little 100 bundle right here. So this bundle right here in front of me is close to about $600 right here. So, this is the stuff that's available. And once again, these are just, little keepsakes. There could be savings for some, you never know, but it's available for those who want it. So buygoldnotes.com. Check it out if you guys are interested. And then last, I want to make sure I remind people of the opportunity to actually join me on the silver team. So the silver team is what I'm really the most excited about, because it gives me a chance to actually work directly with people. So if you're interested in doing that, then go to mysilverteam.com. And as you can see here, these are just some people who are a part of the community as far as collecting 1 ounce at a time. And here you have these little cute boxes that collect your weight. And these are all newbies here. But then again, you can be a seasoned vet or a newbie, doesn't matter. Silver is silver. And if it's automated, shipped every month, you ain't got to ask no questions. It just comes in the mail. It's like automatic savings. So for those who are interested, go to mysilverteam.com. Links in the description. And definitely would love to work with you. And yeah, it's going to be a good day, man. But other than that, be blessed, be safe. Catch you guys later. Peace.